You have discussed in your elementary science that living things are highly organized and structured. Now let us review the different levels of organization in living things. In Science 7, you discussed the different spheres of the Earth: atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere. The biosphere is at the highest level of organization. It is the collection of all ecosystems, and it represents the zones of life on Earth. It includes land, water, and even the atmosphere to a certain extent. An ecosystem consists of all the living things in a particular area together with the abiotic or non-living parts of that environment, such as nitrogen in the soil or rainwater. The forest itself is an ecosystem. On a side note, a biome is a set of ecosystems sharing similar characteristics with their abiotic factors adapted to their environments. For example, an aquatic biome can contain ecosystems such as coral reefs and kelp forests. An ecosystem consists of different communities. A community is the sum of population inhabiting a particular area. For instance, all of the trees, flowers, mammals, insects, and other populations in a forest form the forest community. Population is all the individuals of a species living within a specific area. For example, a forest may serve as home for zebras. All of these zebras represent the population of zebras in this forest. Organisms are individual living entities. For example, each zebra in a forest is an organism. Single-celled prokaryotes and single-celled eukaryotes are also considered organisms and are typically referred to as microorganisms. Mammals have many organ systems. An organ system is a higher level of organization that consists of functionally related organs. For instance, the nervous system transports signals from the receptors to the brain and eventually to the different organs. It includes organs such as the brain and spinal cord. Organs are collections of tissues grouped together, performing a common function. Organs are present not only in animals but also in plants. In larger organisms, tissues are present. Tissues are groups of similar cells carrying out similar or related functions. All living things are made up of cells, and the cell itself is the smallest fundamental unit of structure and function in living organisms. Some organisms consist of a single cell, and others are multicellular. Though we consider the cells the smallest living unit, it is still essential to study the different components of the cell. Organelles are small structures that exist within cells. Examples of these include mitochondria and chloroplast, which carry out indispensable functions. Mitochondria produce energy to power the cell, while chloroplasts enable green plants to utilize the energy in sunlight to make sugars. Sugars are just one of the macromolecules produced by the cell. Another example of a macromolecule is DNA, which contains the instructions for the structure and functioning of all living organisms. Sugars are composed of a carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atom. The atom is the smallest and most fundamental unit of matter. It consists of a nucleus surrounded by electrons. This biological organization has two major features. First, it forms a hierarchy. Biosphere, at the highest level, is considered as the most inclusive and most complex. Most inclusive because it contains all ecosystems, both the abiotic and biotic factors. Similarly, since it has many components, it is considered the most complex. Let us try this example. Arrange the following from the least inclusive or simplest to the most inclusive or most complex: leaf, carbon, chlorophyll, chloroplast, gumamela plant, and mesophyll cells. Okay, let's see the answer. The first item is the carbon atom, which can be found in a chlorophyll molecule. Chlorophyll is the green pigment inside the chloroplast organelle. This organelle is usually seen in mesophyll cells, and these cells are found in the leaves of a gumamela plant. The second feature of this organization is that each level has unique structures and function, with each component necessary for the functionality of the whole. To illustrate this further, imagine a simple brick. It may not be as useful as a single unit, but when it is combined to form a wall, it serves as a strong foundation. Furthermore, if you have additional components, you will be able to build a sturdy house. This second feature leads to what we call emergent properties. These are properties not present at the lower levels but arise from the interaction of the different components. For example, a heart is made up of heart cells. Heart cells on their own don't have the property of pumping blood. You will need the whole heart to be able to pump blood. Thus, the pumping property of the heart is an emergent property of the heart. In simple terms, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.